Imagine that you woke up one morning and the government wanted to buy your property. What would you do?
According to the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution, the government has every right to take private property for public use with just compensation under what is known as eminent domain.
So the original idea for Mounds Lake was born out of a 2010 Madison County Leadership Academy class. The class was looking at what are some big transformational ideas that could be incorporated into Madison County and the region that could really act as an economic driver and for the entire region, for all of central Indiana. And they came up with this idea of potentially creating a lake by constructing a dam on White River. And from there, the project has progressed to, there was a conceptual development period of time where some private donors put some money into the process to decide, is this something we can really even, that really could work? That was essentially phase one of the project. Phase two of the project was really to answer a lot of the questions that were generated during phase one. The other aspect of this we've really tried to take some time to explain to people is what will happen. You know, once we do get to that point, how will this work? Will you guys just make me an offer and I don't have any kind of recourse there if I don't like that? And the short answer is no. There's a very detailed federal process that anyone, any community, any government entity that's looking at eminent domain is required to go through at this point. So there's a host of options for most of these property owners with regards to how their properties are acquired by the project. That to us, to the project in general, is kind of the floor of how we want to do this. I mean, that is it's frankly probably one of the least attractive ways for us to acquire property.
Eagle, what is meant by the term eminent domain?
Eminent domain is the power of the sovereign to take private property for the benefit of society, of the public.
And what does it mean for a property owner when we talk about this topic?
It means that owner is going to lose his land or other property, and in American society today, the owner gets what is termed just compensation, but the way it's defined by the Supreme Court, that is far from full compensation.
Although the CED believes the proposed Mounds Lake will benefit the public, we spoke with several homeowners and business owners who think otherwise.
Our home is 20 acres, and we have all kinds of wild animals. We have 1,500 feet on the White River, and we purchased it about 10 years ago. And so the devastation of the reservoir is losing really all control over decisions for your life and for your family. We bought the property to protect our family. We have 4 children and 3 grandchildren, and we have free-flowing wells. We have ponds. We have Turkey Creek. And so it was really kind of a haven for our family for safety and to make sure that in the future we could protect them.
And it's a shame that the river is ours now. As soon as they put this dam up, the river doesn't belong to us anymore. It belongs to a corporation. It shouldn't be that way. And that's kind of the heartbreak of it is that I will not be able to stay anywhere near this if it happens, because all of my memories are underwater. They're gone.
This next season, 2015, will be our 30th year in business. We've been floating customers down the White River. This year, we had approximately 20,000 people. You could come through our facility. We would lose our business. I mean, mainly because people don't paddle on reservoirs. Paddling on still water is very, very difficult, and it's not very much fun. So, I mean, that's where we lose. It's just, it's our house where we've started to grow our business and, trying to replant our family after we just fall in love with this property, just like Peggy has.
Economies are hurting everywhere, and the thing about it is Anderson's assets are the river. It's the mound. It's businesses like Robbie's.
We attended an Anderson City Council meeting where citizens voiced their concerns, including the impact that the lake would have on Mounds State Park and the surrounding area.
The CED's proposal to dam the river and create a reservoir was one hatched in secret. To date, those responsible for the plan have allowed no open forum for discussion. There has been no appropriate public input, and the process has exhibited an utter lack of transparency. The decision to propose destruction of more than 400 homes and businesses, as well as to do severe and irreparable environmental and archaeological damage to our community without consideration of any alternatives, in my view, exhibits a serious disregard for the public good.
Individually, endangered species impacts, the archaeological impacts, the wetland impacts, and the violation of the State Nature Preserves Act are all significant enough to kill this project. Together, they are non-starter for the regulatory agencies.
The city of Anderson, named for Delaware Chief Kicthaweenan, in a state whose name means land of the Indians, a city that has sections of town and multiple streets named after indigenous peoples, is home to the Anderson Indians, and even a Native American on its seal. How can a city with such a connection to Native American history and culture possibly consider a proposal that would destroy the basis of its very identity? I implore you to reject this proposal and reaffirm our city's commitment to our Native American historical and cultural heritage. Thank you.
There are 89 high hazard dams in Indiana. They are in disrepair. That makes us rank 6th in the nation for the risk of a high hazard dam failure. 6th in the nation. We are doing a lousy job of maintaining the dams we have. So let's not build another one. Thanks.
According to John Locke, government has no other end but the preservation of property. This, however, is not the case in modern-day America.
Although the government has the power to take property, there will always be those who oppose the eminent domain process. While the eminent domain process could lead to potential economic progress, the suffering of homeowners and the destruction of the environment must be taken into account.